Having intention and rushing to your first dollar as an entrepreneur is really all that you need to do if you want to start making meaningful money. So here's the used Tesla that I just bought a few days ago. As you can see, it still has like the new license plate and everything. And we're going to be going pretty deep in this video, so I'm going to try to keep it concise. But really, what you're probably wondering right now is what intention is, and really it's just a combination of two things. And I got this from a book actually, so let me write it down. It's called Reality Transurfing. So give this book a read. It's kind of a tough read. It's like 800 pages, but that's where I got a lot of this from, and super useful. So if you have no desire, then obviously you're not going to have any reason to do the hard work in order to start making money online. Like, it's obviously not easy, and we're going to get into that later, to make money online. So if you don't have a desire to do it, why would you put yourself through that pain for no reason? So there's like an example of where rats have like their dopamine receptors removed or something, or like they have the dopamine removed out of their system, and they won't even eat if they literally starve to death, and they decided not to eat because the food was like a little bit of a distance away, and they did not want to, since they had no dopamine, they didn't even have the energy, they didn't even have the motivation, the desire to go to the food in order to eat it, in order to literally survive. So that's the importance of having a desire to do something. It's literally for your survival. And then if you have no action, then this one's a little bit less obvious. You're building up excess energy and it has nowhere to go, right? So you have that energy building up by having that desire, and you want to make money. And I don't know, you see these reels, like let me expand this real quick. And you see the motivational reels. Just imagine one day when they say, "This was my classmate," like these little Sigma reels. And you want it so bad, but it seems like it's too much work in order to actually get the money, which it kind of is. It's not, it's hard work, but it really is worth it in the end. Once you start getting results like these, you start realizing like just how good it is. And the path is also kind of a little bit vague. Like, all the steps are not exactly laid out for you, and that's kind of scary because your brain prefers comfort over, getting out of its comfort zone and going into new territories. That's what my last video was about. But your brain really does not like unknown territory because it's like primal and whatever. You don't want to go into like the forest where you don't know if there's like a different tribe or if there's a bear or something. So you're super motivated, you have all the desire, you want this kind of result, and you want it pretty bad actually. You'd really like this kind of breast scales, that kind of, that Porsche 911 whatever kind of lifestyle, but you're still scrolling. Just whatever you do, just don't stand still. That's the one worst thing that you could do, because imagine that you're a heat gun and you're just like moving around. The surroundings that you'd be around would get heated. Like, let's say you're in a house. If you're like running, then the walls and the floor would get heated. But since you keep moving, it just gets a little bit hot and then it goes back to normal temperature. You wouldn't catch anything on fire. But if you stay in one place with the heat gun, then whatever you're having that heat gun towards is going to catch fire. It's going to start burning. So just don't move and nothing's going to catch fire. Similarly, another example is like if you're getting chased. I'm just trying to give more examples to help you visualize. Literally doing anything, just running away in any direction, even if it's like a dead end, or I don't know, if they have some sort of advantage over you, just literally doing anything gives you at least some sort of chance in surviving and, like, I don't know, not getting caught. But if you do nothing, then that guarantees that they could just run up to you and they'd catch you. Let's say that you're parked on, like, right before an intersection right here. This is just a third example. And you don't know which way to go, so you just decide to park on the side of the road. And you don't know where your destination is. You don't know if you're supposed to go left or you're supposed to go right. Maybe your navigation died. So instead of, just going up to the intersection right here and deciding to take one of them, and if you mess up, then you just course correct, you just stay there and you don't do anything. Just make any turn, and if it's wrong, then you can just go the other way. So let's say that you end up going this way and it's the other way, just do a U-turn. It's that simple. And maybe, just maybe, you take this right turn and there's something even better after you take that turn. So maybe you meet somebody, and let's say this is the actual real life example. Let's say that you meet somebody who ends up giving you a better business opportunity, and you have a whole new world of possibilities that just open from that. That happened by you making that seemingly wrong turn. But if you just park there, another car's not going to pull up behind you and come up to your door and give you a business opportunity. It's just not going to happen. But one thing that is guaranteed is that if you don't take action, then you're not going to get the result. So just whatever you do, don't stay parked. Go in any direction, do whatever you can. Just don't stay still. Once again, the path to making money and getting successful and entrepreneurship and all that is pretty vague because there's so many different options, especially now. There's so many different ways that you can make money. Everybody has a different set of circumstances that they're born in, and a certain set of circumstances that they put themselves into, and different businesses that they tried, and different opportunities that they got, and different levels of luck. And maybe they were super lucky in one situation and super unlucky in a different one. There's just so many different variables. So you don't know exactly what to do, so you end up just not doing anything at all. It's super comforting to just sit down, lay down in your bed and watch reels instead of actually getting out there and out of your comfort zone. It's just way too scary to do that. And the result of that is, once again, the excess energy goes to beating yourself up because you're watching the motivational reels and you're not actually doing the work, and you see other people doing the work inside of the reels. It's just super demotivating for you. And it was for me too. I still kind of watch reels kind of a bit. And yeah, it does feel pretty bad. Especially seeing like I'm 14 years old and I make 100K a month and I'm scaling to 500K a month and follow. And I wake up at 4 a.m. all this. And even though you want to be rich, it's way too uncomfortable to put yourself out there. So you just keep watching more reels about it. Just the same thing once again. So you end up getting the actually opposite of what you wanted, because instead the energy has to go somewhere, right? Either it goes positively towards actually taking action and propelling yourself forward, or it goes in the negative direction. But if you just keep watching reels and you keep beating yourself up about it, but if you stay in this loop of just self-hatred, so you watch more motivational reels and then you hate yourself more because you're not there yet, and so you watch more motivational reels, if you just keep doing that, then you're going to get way the opposite of your desired result. So you need to break the loop as soon as possible and replace the self-hatred with action, right? And then this loop is broken. There's not going to be any more of that. So you need to have a specific goal that you can check off, right? Something, it could be a dream car, it can be a dream place that you want to get a living space. Like, you want to live on the Palm in Dubai, something like that. But you can't just have this mindset of, being rich would be nice. That's literally everybody, other than people who want to live on a farm in Wyoming. And why specifically, you need to ask yourself this, why specifically do you want to be rich, be successful, all of that? Why do you want to get into entrepreneurship? Because if you're watching long, unedited value content like this, literally there's no edits, it's just me talking and me having a slideshow up. If you're watching this, then you have a big, deep reason inside of you. Otherwise, let me make this sound better. Whatever. Most people would not watch all this because there's they say every second there's 30 minutes of content uploaded to YouTube. So if you're deciding to watch this out of all things, then you have some sort of big underlying deep reason within you that you may or may not have realized yet. So it could be loving the numbers going up, just seeing it progress like a game almost. And it could be status, maybe having the nice cars and the status that you get from that. Maybe you lack status as a kid. It could be the freedom, the financial freedom, and you don't have a boss that you have to be under, just anything like that. And usually it's something from your childhood that you grew up with. And for me it was freedom. I just have been obsessed with the idea of having financial freedom, just being able to do my own thing. And the issue is that if you don't have a specific goal, then you're not going to be able to course correct because you don't have something to go towards, right? So if you don't have a destination, then what is the path? How do you correct the path to go into a certain direction? The whole definition of course correction is that, okay, you get it. You're putting yourself onto a path to get towards your goal, but if there's no goal, then what are you course correcting for? And there's nothing to look forward to when the times are tough, right? So it's trial by fire. Let me skip over here really quickly. It's a trial by fire. You need to go through fire in order to get to your destination, right? That's how otherwise everybody would be living their dream life and everybody would just be happy and that the world would all be kumbaya, whatever. But while the times are tough, while you're in this fire, in the middle of this fire, then you need to have some sort of light at the end of the tunnel to look forward to. So a solution to this, I'll get into it in a second. But if you don't have a specific goal, then you have no course correction and you have nothing to look forward to. You have no desire, no strong desire. Your progress is going to be super minor. It's going to be super random. And that's compared to the amount of energy that you invested. You put a ton of energy. You think about it all the time. You watch all the reels, all of that. But still your progress is so little, compared to a normal person basically. So then your energy goes back to self-hatred, and then we're back at this cycle, which I fixed. Let me see if I can undo it. There you go, that cycle. Having a strong, let me highlight this. A strong and specific desire constantly in your mind at all times, and you're thinking about it as much as you can, you're obsessing over it. That's just as important as action, right? So the action is going to actually get you there, but you're not going to do the action if you don't have something to propel you forward, something that's going to push you through this fire. Otherwise, you're going to just get a little touch of that fire and you're going to be like, no, it's not worth going through all of this fire just to get to my goal. So your desire is going to carry you through the fire almost like a propeller. Like, think of like one of those SpaceX missiles or rockets or whatever. Like the propellers, all that fuel is going to, the desire is basically going to be that fuel that pushes you through this fire so that you minimize your pain and you actually enjoy going through that fire and until you eventually get through it. And a pro tip for this is to watch, like Brett Scales or, I don't know, Iman Gaji, all of those people who are just like showing off their success and showing their success stories, and all of those small channels who are like, I make 20K a year, I make 50K, sorry, 20K a month, I make 50K a month. Last year I made 2 million, all of those videos. But instead of envying them, instead of, beating yourself up about it, realize that you could do the same thing too. There's literally so many people making so much money. Like, there's so much money out there, you could just get a piece for yourself. It really is not hard to just find a niche and get a piece for yourself out of that market. So just to recap, you want to keep moving at all times towards your goal. All the time, just do as much action as possible. And once you realize that you moved in the wrong direction, just course correct and continue moving in the correct direction. And even if you've moved in the wrong direction, it's never that significant. It's always better than just staying still. Because when you move in the wrong direction, you learn from your mistakes through actual experience rather than, just learning about it through books and stuff. And you end up not having that mistake in the future. So, there's a bunch of these limiting beliefs that come in your mind. How am I going to make videos? Let's say you're trying to start a YouTube channel and you want to sell some sort of course or something, some sort of digital product. How to make videos? What do I make the videos about specifically? What video format? How do I speak to a camera? All of these. How do I edit? Should I even edit my videos at all? How do I set up the camera? Just, guys, you'll figure it out once you actually do the effort, once you actually put yourself out there. And let's say for dropshipping or something, how do I make the website? How do I sell the product? Or what product do I sell? And how do I make and edit the ads? And same thing applies to like an agency or whatever other business model. You just really need to have intention. Number one, that desire that's going to propel you forward through the fire. And number two, the endless action. It can never stop. You always have to be making some sort of progress. Just don't stand still. Because the Michael Jordan quote, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So you never stop making progress. And if you have both of these things, if you just think about it, there's literally no other possible permutation. There's no other universe that exists where you don't reach your goal eventually. If you just keep having that strong specific desire, if you have endless action, and also if you course correct whenever you start messing up and you don't just fall into addiction, like you don't start doing cocaine or something, then that you're eventually going to reach your goal. So yeah, that's how I made 18.5K. It was like 17K in the last video. I've been having some good sales. The market's been purring recently. And yeah, that's how I made 18.5K reselling cameras as a side hustle in just half a year, like starting from around September, but I did take a kind of a small break for a few months. And from literally $0 a month, like I was still stuck in that $0 hole, and I was just watching other people change their lives with just like a small amount of income. And guys, really, it is that small $2,000 to $3,000 a month compared to like other people making 10, 20, 50K. But it really is that starting amount that really changes their life. Like you can really upgrade every part of your life other than like a car or a house, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to continue growing this channel using these methods. And once again, just take the first few steps, and that fog from this image, that fog is all going to clear up. It's all going to become super clear to you, just like a GTA map. And yeah, you know what to do now. You have to take action now. So that's the hard part. Bye.